and fruits. Last but not the least, the ex-Prime Minister of Pakistan, Yusuf Raza Gilani, he has awarded as the best food supplement the spirulina because of its work on night blindness. It was given to some night blind people under the supervision of the ophthalmologist, and who, after a very sophisticated control, authentication, and then they found out that after 3 months of persistent use of reishi and spirulina, some of the children, 50% of the children, they got back their eyesight because nutritional supplementation was good enough to let them take a U-turn to normality. So what are the active ingredients in spirulina that makes it very important? For all of us to know that spirulina is the most non-toxic food supplement. It has the highest protein content of 65 to 75% of its whole ingredient, and 15% of the carbohydrate, only 5.8% of the fat, which is in the form of essential fatty acids, and gamma linoleic acid GLA, and the polysaccharides, carbohydrates in the form of polysaccharides, which is in the form of glycogen, 8% of the mineral and trace elements, and vitamins ranging from B1 to B12, and fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, K, H, and others. Now the natural pigments which give its more the color and the look of it is phytocyanin and chlorophyll, xanthophyll, and beta carotene. The nutritional value is definitely very easy to understand because it is the most easily digestible food supplement that contains not only protein but all the other ingredients that I have just mentioned. And with all the importance of beta carotene and GLA, I would like to mention that GLA is one of the essential fatty acids which is only available in mother's milk. So people who have not breastfed their children, women who don't want to breastfeed their children because of so many reasons, they are depriving their children for a natural immunity which they can give for about more than 1.5 years. So if you give spirulina to such children who cannot have mother's milk for one reason or the other, you can give the same amount of immunity as what a mother milk would do so. It will help them not only to have good healthy bones, good rate of growth, brain functions, development, stimulation of skin and hair growth, and regulation of metabolism such as lipid metabolism. Above all, it will prevent ADHD and autism. It's not me, it has been tested that B6 and B12 deficiency in mothers who are pregnant can lead to autistic children and ADHD children. So nowadays, having a sick baby, having a mentally retarded baby is a disaster for the parents for the whole of their life. They cannot live happily and they cannot die until they see and secure that their children are safe and well settled. So why not to prevent such children to have autism? So let's have a good content of B6, B12 to every girl who is growing from the age of 7, 8 onwards, so that she can have a good quality of growth and she can give rise to a good quality of reproductive life. Vitamin B12 and B complex are not only essentials for the growth, but they are also necessary for healthy nerves and tissue, especially for those people who are vegetarians because of their culture, because of their disease, underlying dictations of the doctor's prescriptions, or because of their religious limitations. They cannot take first-class proteins The spirulina gives them the best quality proteins that they can have in the shape of a vegetable cum algae. So spirulina doesn't come in vegetables also because it is a micro spiral which is an algae in itself. So minerals and trace elements. Spirulina is rich in these elements, which is iron, magnesium, and trace elements which are easy to absorb as compared to the synthetic iron and minerals given in medicine. Unusual phytonutrients are necessary for cleansing and health of the cell level. So green blood, that is chlorophyll, which is a cousin in its biochemical structures resembling hemoglobin, and orange, which is carotenoids, and also phycocyanin, which is blue in color, having sun energy and power growth potential to give them the best benefit of cleanser and oxygen transporter to have a good healthy environment. Now if we compare protein, minerals, fiber, vitamin B12, beta carotene, carbohydrate, lipid, chlorophyll, calcium, all these elements, if you see the deprivation of these products, these minerals, what will happen and how much is there in spirulina, comparison is well established that the content of protein in 6 gram of spirulina is equally 3 times more than in beef, fish and pork. It is 6 times more than in eggs. It is 2 times more than in soya. And in minerals, including calcium, potassium, and magnesium, zinc, and phosphorus, which are vital for the growth of the cells. Fiber, it has got 4 times more fiber content as flour and corn, although it is very small in quantity, but the effect is so strong that it is much better than bulk, rather to have a small thing with equal effect. Definitely, if you compare 6 grams of spirulina will have 130 milligram of calcium, which is 10 times more than in milk. So there is a long list of all the equivalence balance formula. If you want, you can go through. I have already will give you the slide at the end of the presentation for that. Beta carotene and provitamins. Now what will happen with all these vitamins are not there in your blood? What is going to happen? One would ask similarly, okay, I will take my fruits and vegetables, why should I take excessive greenery or excessive things in my blood? Don't forget that minor depriving of vitamins in your blood, this deprivation of beta carotene or provitamin A will give rise to helping infections, lack of sensation, cannot smell properly, acne, dermatitis, and skin disorders. Similarly, B1, B2, and B3 till B12, all of them deficiencies can give rise to insomnia, pains, heart problems, less immune resistance, and blood, the oral cavity disorders, pathologies, nervousness, pernicious anemia, and lots of menstrual irregularities. You see, all of these problems are pathologies. You would go to a doctor and buy some medicine and keep on taking that medicine without knowing that only a little deficiency was the culprit causing all these problems. So you are going in a wrong direction. You are trying to treat the effect of a disease, effect of a deficiency, rather than to take care of a deficiency itself. So I would suggest that we doctors also always keep in mind and suggest to our patients that please take care of your diet, take care of your lifestyle, because that is more long lasting. Whatever we give is temporary for a few days, but you will come back to us if you don't take care of these 2 things. How do you take care of them? Every day you will make a long list of a balanced diet. How many of us have time? How many of us have the knowledge to be implemented, what type of food we should eat every day, in what circumstances? And what are the circumstances in which everybody has been pushed to dictate every cell of your body how to behave? Are we ready to take that challenge? Are we ready to take that challenge for our family? Are we ready to take the risk for our children? Of course not. What we have suffered, we never want our children to suffer. Similarly, if this is the family planning for the health of the family, you have a good friend with you, that is spirulina. If you want to prevent deficiency disorders, if you want to take a U-turn back to health, add spirulina in your day-to-day life. You can add it to your skin, you can apply it to your wounds, you can apply it on your the chemicals that you are taking in your food supplements. You can add spirulina in so many ways. So not to have any ill effect of the surrounding bad hazards for your health. So if you want to know what is the difference between a good protein which is having a pH difference, as Dr. Lim very well always emphasized, that our body is now prone to be acidic because we have to fight back. Whatever function we perform, the byproducts are all acidic. These acidic contents are to be taken out from the body on a regular basis, because unless and until we take them out, we are going to accumulate that nonsense, that shit of our metabolism into the liver, into the system, and we one day or the other will fall sick. And when we fell sick, what will happen? We will be dependent on medicine. Again, there will be another deficiency coming up because of sickness itself. So if you want to make your body healthy, try to take healthy food which is alkaline. Now what is the food that is alkaline? You make a long list. Today I will not take acidic food. Which one is acidic food? Which one is, some people would like to take A, some people would like to take B. How many people in the house? 10 people, 10 types of food. Can you bear that? Are you ready to bear 10 types of different foods? How much expensive it would be? And if you can buy 1000 kilograms of assorted vegetables at a cost of not more than 10 to 15 dirham, can you buy that? I don't think so. Because the quality of organic food that you would buy is 2 times more expensive as compared to the normal routine vegetable and fruit which is available in the market. All the world, now globally, it is getting enlightened that it should be an organic substance, alkaline substance that should go and help your body to feed itself, to prevent the diseases. And how these bodies we can differentiate. Some of them, the acidic food that we love, we eat, is meat, chicken, fish, prawns, bread. Is there any day that we don't take any of these? How many times we take and sit down, take milk, green vegetables, fruits and egg white? Hardly ever. So we are already making ourselves a great ditch of illness, reasoning of illnesses, that is not to take an alkaline food. Now if you can change your alkalinity, if you can change your body nature towards alkaline food, you will start preventing and harmonizing your internal environment. So everybody's meal should have some proper portion of at least 80% alkaline, and you do need some of the acidic content to have some functions to be taken care of. The spirulina itself has a lot of added health benefits apart from being food. It is rich in iron, it is rich in protein, it is rich in beta carotene, all the vitamins I have just mentioned. And gamma linolenic acid, which is definitely a vaccine, only present in mother's milk, and routinely it helps to grow the hormone system, which will help the person to grow and having stability in the systems of the body. So a powerful antioxidant itself, spirulina, is exceptionally very rich in neutralizing free radicals. As we have already mentioned a lot about free radicals, and the presence being sick and tiring for the systems, it is good to have antioxidants in spirulina itself. Phycocyanin, which is the blue content of spirulina, has got an hydroxy radical which inhibits the oxidation of lipids in the liver and kidneys, thereby preventing the damage to these organs. A study demonstrates that 71% of antioxidant capacity for the group taking the spirulina extract and 54% of the group that did not. It has already been published in a Brazilian Journal of Medical and Biological Research recently. Now, spirulina prevents cancer. Again, as an antioxidant, we all know that antioxidants prevent cancer growth. Anti-mutagenic effect of spirulina is also beneficial to prevent cancers, and also it has got complete regression in the tumor size, 1 gram per day if spirulina is being taken for 12 months. The study was already done in Kerala, and I am thankful to Professor K.K. Janardhan to share with us his research on spirulina and Ganoderma, and he has given us some of the good clinical trials which gives us the faith that this product is completely natural and complete security for all systems of our body. Its cardioprotective effect of spirulina, that is the protection for your heart, because it makes the cholesterol from the blood go away very easily. It decreases the level of low density lipoproteins and increases the level of high density lipoproteins, thereby preventing to grow the bad cholesterol and help the good cholesterol to come up. It has got a significant effect on vascular tone, thereby synthesis of nitric oxide, which decreases the release of vasoconstricting chemicals in the body, so you decreases the potentiality of increasing in blood pressure. So it was found to lower the cholesterol, and in vitamin C content, vitamin E content, selenium, all are very good for reproductive life. Nowadays, as a gynecologist, I am giving every patient some vitamins to even have a successful assisted reproduction. Why? Because we know that micronutrients in the terms of amino acids and vitamins can only help us to gain what we want them to gain from us in assisting their reproduction. So the protection against cardiovascular diseases, protection against infertility, protection against cancer, protection against low growth potentials, and potential against protein calorie malnutrition is supplied by spirulina as a whole entity of the best food supplement. Now, if you want to do a diet therapy, that means you want to limit your diet, but you want to remain healthy. The concept of dieting is very bad nowadays. People try to look like a model girl without any fat around, but they don't eat at all. Not eating is not dieting. Dieting is eat healthy, eat wisely. And to have that, you can use spirulina as a good tool to cut down the weight and to increase the weight. If you take it empty stomach, it will give you a lack of appetite and it will give you a healthy nutrition without any extra content of fat. If you take it after food, if you have got low body mass index, you can increase your weight by having an additive few pills of spirulina to increase the protein content, and you can increase the weight by adding that food content without having any added discomfort to your stomach. So dietetic therapy, definitely decreasing the consumption of any protein, will help you to contain the sodium and potassium disbalancing if you, that is going without dietary fiber also. Now, dietetic therapy for spirulina for liver diseases is a basic treatment for liver diseases. I may assure you here, people who are having misconception about not to take spirulina in liver disorders are very much mistaken. I have been talking to people who claim and blame that is spirulina or reishi or any of our food supplements have started giving them problems after taking it. They are non-toxic food supplements, they cannot kill a cell. They will only kill the cells which are unwanted and which are not behaving properly, which are against the routine what is given to them. That is why we say that food can only distinguish what is good for the body and what is bad for the body. A medicine will be focused to a target of a destiny for a disease, for a system, for an organ. But food will be focused for all the cells of the body to give them the best utilization as a supplement, as a supply for the growth, as a supply for the micronutrients to live long and healthy. The diet which is rich in protein and vitamins cannot harm your ailing organs. It will help you to regain your health. It will help you to fight back with the low potentials of your organs, because what it has is protein, which is a building block of your body. All the antibodies, all the hormones, all the muscle mass, all the structure of your body is made by protein. So don't forget that what is good for you will also give some reaction to your body when it fights with some ill cell, which will take care of those things like a vaccine. So spirulina can easily be given in people who have hepatic dysfunction, and in fact it has been used for HIV patients. It has been used, its antiviral properties have been claimed and proven to be effective in hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV, herpes, influenza, flu, allergic asthma. It is not me, it is already published in the Journal of Immunology. You can go down and search for the whole articles there which prove them that spirulina contains elements which are abundant with all these properties in their self to prevent neuropathy, to prevent nephropathy. Even people who are diabetic can take very easily spirulina because it has very low carbohydrate. And the prevention of the complications of diabetes will help them to come up and recover very quickly from high blood sugar level states. It will give them good control of neuropathy, retinopathy and nephropathy. That means the side effects on individual systems of diabetes will be taken care of. As an antiviral, spirulina has been claimed to work on T cells for immune system and mononuclear blood cells and Langerhans cells of pancreas, thereby taking care of your diabetes, taking care of your immunity in viral disorders. Some Japanese scientists already identified calcium spiruline into spirulina, which is an antiviral compound. It is active against many viruses, including, as I said, HIV, hepatitis, herpes and influenza. The best thing about spirulina is that it is the blood, it is the green blood replacement for people, women who are dying because of obstetric complications. 1 tablespoon of spirulina powder or 6 to 10 tablets of spirulina can eliminate iron deficiency, and the most common cause of anemia is because of iron deficiency. Some of the women, they cannot even tolerate taking iron in food or in medicine. The stomach are sensitive, but the iron content of spirulina is well tolerated and well accepted by most of the people. So the health benefits are excellent and very rapid and speedy recovery from diseases and the maintenance of health at any level of age that you need for your children, for your family. For spirulina can be the best substitute, and that's why it is recommended for nursing mothers. It is recommended for mothers to be. It is recommended for newborns. It is recommended for all the people who can give rise to any allergic states, and that's why you have to settle down to come to a decision that what is best to you should come to you. and you are the one to decide. Nobody else would decide for you. So best thing is try searching for some things which is definitely is going to give you a long lasting health without any side effects of the chemicals in the food which you are taking. Athletes need extra nutrition. So spirulina can be used by the athletes because it has GLA, it stimulates prostaglandins, and it definitely the master hormones which regulate the cell functions, including heart, skin, muscle, and the correction of the levels of prostaglandin is necessary for maintenance of their performance. So world-class athletes in China, Cuba, Korea, Taiwan, they take spirulina and cordyceps and reishi to improve their function and to improve their capacity as an athlete. The spirulina also reduces the premenstrual syndrome, which is definitely something very annoying for the females to have, and these micronutrients, and there is no treatment except yoga and exercises and the vitamins to get rid of this stressful situation before the cycle. So many clinics, they recommend B complex and beta carotene separately, so you'll have to have too much medication at the same time. Instead, if you can get some supplement, if you get some few tablets to give you that support, it would be very nice to have everything in one entity. People in America are using spirulina as a slimming agent. As I told you, that being a complete food, it will not depress your dietary requirements. So if you take spirulina, you can check that during Ramadan. You can check that when you are fasting, that if you take before fasting 8 to 10 tablets of spirulina, and you see how next 8 to 10 hours you, apart from those people who don't take anything and you take any heavy food stuff, the quality of life in the fasting period is definitely better when you take spirulina, which gives you the relief from hunger pangs, which gives you a signal to the brain that you don't need food, and also it is helping you to lose weight by supplying good proteins. It has been used as an anti-aging supplement, not only as a food but also by cosmetic. The beauticians, they use spirulina by applying on the skin to beautify the skin because of its beautiful vitamin content, vitamin E content, and also gamma-linolenic acid content. So in Japan, spirulina is being used as safe in cosmetics also. So the message to take home is the best food that you can have is spirulina, the best prevention that you can have is spirulina, and the best quality of life for your family and for your children that you can have, especially for aged people, for sick people who cannot eat properly, even who have intubations. You can crush the tablets, mix them with rosary or mix them with morangi and give it to them. You will be helping them to regain their health in a quick moment of time, and they will be thankful to you. So there are more than 400 to 600 scientific articles proving these statements, and anybody who is interested can Google them and satisfy themselves. So maintain your health and longevity with beauty and nature's gift of superfood to mankind. And thanks to Dr. Janardhan for such a beautiful knowledge that he has given to us. And we are thankful to all the leaders of our DXN research team that given us the liberty to use these products with such a minimal cost as compared to the other manufacturers. May you achieve the best health and the beauty of your life. Thank you very much. A very good morning to all the listeners and the viewers of this program. I welcome you all to awareness platform of DXN, which is again a continuity of the product information via this attempt. The product by the name of Cordyceps sinensis is very old product, belongs to a traditional Chinese medicine, and most of alternative medicine is already have approved of it. It's another gift of nature which has come to rescue our health. But one wonders, why do we need it? So let's go back for what we are facing by knowing what is surrounding us. All of you know the composition of the air, which is mixed 78% of nitrogen, almost 21% of oxygen, and 0.9% of argon, plus 0.03% of carbon dioxide. Another 0.07% of this mixture of hydrogen, water, ozone, neon, helium, krypton, and lots of other trace components, we are being surrounded by these if we look into the details of the air around. Let's see what are the other things that are because of us. The outdoor pollution, which we ourselves increase by smoking, a co-carcinogen producing cancer, lung cancer, and lots of other hazards. Biological pollutants like dust, pollen, any viruses, any bacteria which are mixed with dust, and synthetic products which are constantly in use. If we go into the details of air pollution, we cannot avoid automobile exhaustion, we cannot avoid industrial pollutions, and definitely open burning. You must have seen in the third world countries, the disposal systems are not that highly effective to take off the toxins, rather they pollute the air very badly. The haze, which is a seasonal issue, it also creates poor immune mechanisms and creates health issues. And all of these pollution as a cause becomes a pathology which causes lots of diseases, the most common being asthma, then bronchitis and emphysema. Not only that, it can also cause most of the lung diseases, leading to as far as lung cancer. But don't forget, it also affects our skin, it also affects our cavities, and some of the signs and symptoms we keep on neglecting because we become accustomed or used to that allergic attitude. How come cordyceps sinensis has something to do with that? Actually, cordyceps sinensis was used in traditional Chinese medicine as a part of a herbal treatment, as a part of alternative medicine, to assist an improvement in the respiratory system, to promote the general health, and relief of lots of variety of coughs. Also, it improves the quality of life and improves the stamina. Most of the old history goes back to improvement in the male fertility, where there is some weakness for the male sexual performance. So if we go into the details of how to find this cordyceps and where it was cultivated and who found it, it's a long story. It goes back to thousands of years ago. It was naturally found on the islands of Tibet, China, Nepal, over 10,000 feet above the sea level. The scientific name of cordyceps is Cordyceps sinensis, but other names were given by the local people who found that. As it resembles a caterpillar, it is grown on a caterpillar. That's why it is known as caterpillar fungus. or deer fungus or tokukasu. So lots of names were given in their native language like Tong, Shong, Xiu, Hao, all these Thai names were given. But as far as the function of the cordyceps annensis is concerned, it is being said and scientifically proven by lots of research articles that it builds up the stamina for better endurance. It modulates the immune system and it improves memory and concentration. How it does that, I'll come into the details of the fine ingredients of cordyceps annensis, but that's why it is known as elixir of life. It contains antioxidant properties, it stimulates the sexual drive, and above all, it delays the muscle fatigue. Now this is about the general health. How it helps as a therapeutic application. It has very good effect on cardiovascular system, directly affecting on the cholesterol levels and lipid metabolism, and digestive, hepatic, and gastrointestinal disorders are also being observed to have a very beneficial effect. Genitourinary effects and renal disorders, immune disorders, metabolic and nutritional disorders, and it has been used for longevity enhancement also, anti-aging. And if I may tell you that in 2008, the Chinese team, when they investigated the winners of Chinese athletes, they found out that these guys were using cordyceps as food, because it not only increases the stamina, it increases this stamina via the cellular metabolic enhancement of oxygenation plus improvement in the biological functions at the cell level. So when it comes to the basic cell nutrition, improvement of the cell function, definitely it will affect every organ of the body, because it affects the lining of the blood vessels, from where this crossing of oxygen, crossing of carbon dioxide, and crossing of the nutrition and the waste product takes place. How it does that, it has been researched by, lots of scientists are continuously researching on that. The references goes back to the Institute of Natural Products Research in Canada, in America, in Switzerland, in UK, Thailand, China, Japan, Korea. And lots of studies have shown that it's completely safe. And when it is recommended to even to a higher dose, there was no side effect found. And in fact, it improves the general circulatory system in totality. The history of its being used goes back to, some books say it is 4,000 years ago. It was supposed to be the first anti-aging supplement known to the mankind. Now the benefits of cordyceps were very well mentioned by Dr. George Alpern, who was a physician and professor with the University of Hong Kong, and he's author of several books about cordyceps. According to him, the bioenergy status in animals and human is improved by cordyceps. And this would happen because it improves the internal balance, thus making the utilization of oxygen more efficient. The respiratory function, improvement in the function itself, scientific studies have demonstrated the benefits of cordyceps by alleviating the symptoms of several respiratory illnesses, including chronic bronchitis and asthma. How cellular absorption of oxygen is enhanced via cordyceps It has been told by almost 40% of the cardiovascular pharmacological studies of ethanol extracts of cordyceps and cordyceps fermentation solution were noted, and chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases were improved by the use of cordyceps as a supplement. When it comes to the heart function, heart, as you know, is not only a pumping station. It is an organ which never retires. Once it retires, you are no more. So it has to have a continuous supply of its own so that it can supply the proper blood volume, the proper oxygenated blood, and also to take away the deoxygenated blood back to the lungs. So that's why we need constant improvement and help for the heart to function well as long as we live. The minute the compromise of the heart function occurs, the threat to life is there. So if we see the effect of cordyceps on the functioning of the heart, it is very much evident by numerous studies I will mention in a few minutes, that the benefits of cordyceps is not only on the supply of the oxygen to the heart muscle itself, but also on the rhythm of the heart, which is disturbed in lots of diseases like cardiac arrhythmias and chronic heart failures. So research also showed that the animals taking cordyceps and significantly greater survival rate of 20% mortality versus 80% mortality in 30 minutes. Now this is a starting 400% improvement. It's very difficult to understand how it does that. But again, effects, therapeutic diagnosis is there when you give cordyceps and you see the improvement in the oxygenation of the heart muscle, of the kidney, of the brain, of all the tissues of the body. The improvement in oxygenation occurs. When it comes to the lipid metabolism, it maintains the cholesterol levels, and 4 excellent studies were there which demonstrated that it lowers the total cholesterol by 10 to 21%, and it decreases triglyceride by 9 to 26%. At the same time, it helps to increase the high density lipids, cholesterol, which again is known as good cholesterol, by 27 to 30%. So as you can see, it is encircling the most important functions of the body and thereby not having a side effect of its own. When it comes to the blood cells, cordyceps improves the viability of the cells and functions. Surprisingly, it was also noted that it promotes DNA repair. And lots of people have done studies, they have gone through their master's degrees, they have published their thesis on the effect of cordyceps on different systems of the body. One of such study was by Nathalie Velkov, a PhD doctor, and she has written a very nice book on cordyceps, mentioning the treatment effect like a treatment on diabetes, cancer, and other illnesses. If you get an opportunity to get hold of that book, you can very well understand how people are thinking of naturally taking care of their body, especially of their vital organs. When it comes to the vital organs, don't forget liver. For liver, cordyceps improves its function by helping the chronic diseases to repair effectively, and it was seen when it was used in cirrhosis of liver and chronic or subchronic conditions of hepatitis. and related to the liver diseases, other diseases. People think that it was one of the best liver helping adjuvant herbal therapy which made it possible for that metabolic factory to work very nicely. Research and clinical trials on 33 patients with hepatitis B and another 8 patients with cirrhosis while taking cordyceps has already mentioned that 71.9% improvement on thymol turbidity test was noted, and 78.6% of improvement in SGPT level was there. Both of these are enzymes. They show that the improvement of liver function was established. Now, if you go to the kidney diseases, cordyceps helps to cure and improve chronic renal disease. How it does that? We have to go into the finer details of the ingredients of the cordyceps. But before that, I might as well add to the effects of cordyceps that also it has got a very good effect in reduction of the size of the tumors when it was given to cancer patients. There were several clinical studies, and they were conducted in China and Japan with cancer patients, and they were done with the Cordyceps sinensis mycelium using a therapeutic dose of almost 6 grams per day, and patients were given in conjunction with the chemotherapy. Various types of tumors were found to improve by decrease in the size, and the WBC counts were maintained, and significant reduction in the size and improvement of the general condition of the patient was there.